Yo, 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 is the audio good? Let me just plug the laptop in. And I just need to post on Kick. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me know if you can hear the audio. Hello, hello, hello. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me know if you can hear the audio. Yeah, we've got audio. We have got audio. All good, all good. Right. Let's get started. If you don't know, the hair's looking good now. Look at that. It will fall out and look terrible as we get towards the 1, 2, 3 month mark, and then it'll grow. Then it'll look better. But at the moment, it's looking all right. So let's get going. What you see before you is the current state of YouTube at the moment in crypto. And I've mentioned this before on streams, but this is pretty much it. So if you are in crypto and you are watching YouTube and you are putting in on YouTube, searching for particular coins, this is what you'll see. Top 6 coins, you need so much of this coin by this day. This coin's going to make you a millionaire, blah, blah, blah. And the mindset to have at the moment in 2026 is not that, right? All these videos are not going to benefit you in any way at all, because 99% of them are garbage. That is the harsh reality. All garbage. And things like this is, can look, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. Nobody knows is the answer to that. Nobody knows if Litecoin can reach 1,000, 500, 600, 10,000. That's not a question you should be asking at the moment. Not the question you should be asking, because we're in a sideways market at the moment. So your focus should be on what can you do in 2026, right? Because let's be honest with you. We've had the bull run last time, right? We had the bull run 24, 25. Clearly, you could see it from the start of basically when the US election was, where we had XRP go from 50 cents to $3.50. A lot of altcoins pumped, but obviously we didn't get the crazy altcoin season that we did previously, right? So, and it's not, I'm not having a dig at you, no disrespect, but it's like, right, if we're in the mindset of this year's going to be sideways, right? What can we do about it is the question, right? What can we do about it? How can you utilize what you've got? Okay? How can you utilize what you've got in this market? And the unfortunate thing that I've said before with these videos in front of you is this. Unfortunately, don't make money today, make it tomorrow, next week, next year, next month, whatever it is, because the free beer tomorrow that you see in pubs and bars, it's a joke basically, isn't it? You come back tomorrow and there's free beer. But that seems to be the case with these videos, Next month it's going to pump. Next year it's going to pump. And that is the mindset. Some of these XRP videos, every single day there's something. Every single day it's as though, it's going to pump for whatever reason. and it never will. And it never will. There you go. I just forgot the QR code. If you want to book a call with a team. Now, I've spoke before, and I don't want to keep plugging too much, but in the group, these are member wins. This is what the guys are doing in the group, making money through DeFi. And we've spoken before about how liquidity pools work. You're using your existing assets to generate yield. You get paid a proportion of the fees. And these are the two strategies that I've kind of said, why not have a look at if you're in crypto? That is a Bitcoin strategy. That is an altcoin strategy. Yeah. And I have linked in the description, the DeFi playbook, the DeFi playbook 2.0, completely free, talks about these strategies in it and the steps. So if you want to get access to that, link in description. So the idea is to use your existing crypto to your advantage to gain more of that crypto. Now, the idea is you will have Bitcoin and attain more Bitcoin. Or two, you've got an altcoin and you'll acquire more of that altcoin. So the idea is in 2026, right? You're not worrying about price predictions. You're not worrying about, is X coin going to go to this? As long as, in theory, your altcoin is not dead, then acquiring more of it should, in theory, be a good plan. Yeah? So we know which coins have had all-time highs in 24 and 25. So a good place to look at the data for are these coins still live would be the coins that pumped in 24, 25. Ones that didn't or are just going all the way down are obvious ones that I would say, unfortunately, are dead. And that is a harsh reality for a lot of people. So an idea of how these two strategies work, one BTC, one altcoins. And I'll get to some of your questions as well. So just pop them in the chat and I'll answer them just after this section. The Bitcoin idea is if you're DCAing into Bitcoin this year, you can then, or you can either DCA into it or you've got a chunk of Bitcoin. You can take a 25 to 30%, 35% loan back in USDC. You don't pay tax on that. You supply it to VFAT or whatever. You know, this is VFAT here. This is what I've been using. Plenty of pools on here that earn various amounts of APR and APY. And then the money that you earn from this, you can then swap it back into Bitcoin and then just repeat the process on and on. The idea is your asset, Bitcoin, just keeps gaining in price, right? So if you look at Bitcoin 10 years ago, it was about $500. What can it get in 10 years? And I'm not saying it's going to go up the same amount, but in theory, if you look at where it's gone the last 5-10 years, where is it going to be in the next 5-10 years, right? Because if you're in crypto, you've got to believe that the number one asset that is available in crypto is Bitcoin. It rules the market, and it has proven this year and sorry, not this year, last year and previous years that it is the number one, right? So that is one strategy that I spoke about. And the other one is using your existing altcoins. Now, your existing altcoins, depending on how much you believe in it, you can do the same thing. You supply your asset. This one is an example, putting your Solana in Orca. This is Orca. And again, this is a bit better for visualizing the APRs. For example, if you widen this to 20% range, it's around 87% APR. Work out what that is monthly. And again, I'm not saying do that particular range, but just giving you an example. And then with the yield that you earn, you can either swap it for BTC, spend it, or stack stocks. Diversify into another area. Obviously, you can compound if you want. So there's some good comments coming in today. Actually, quite impressed, guys. I will go through them. So that's two options, right? And that's just that's without me going too much in detail with them. The two options for you to use in crypto, and both of these options will get you making money in 2026. Because unlike these, they ain't making you money at all. There is zero money being made watching these. It's just all these guys doing, and no disrespect to them. I think one of these is altcoin daily. He's got around 2 million subs. I think it's two brothers. I can't remember anyway. But they just earn money off the views, right? All they do is earn money off views, and that's all they're bothered about. So it doesn't matter if they say top 6 coins this month, top 5 coins next month, XRP is going to this. It doesn't really matter to them. It literally doesn't matter to them at all, because they'll be making, tens of thousands a month just off the views, because they get hundreds of thousands of views every single month. And that's the game for them. So, fair play. And if you're unsure of how this can work, you can bang something in. Like, this is just a simple thing that I've put in Copilot. 25k earning 2.5% a month, which is around, I think that's 30% a year. So if you look at what I've been showing you, and like I said, with this, I'm going to grow this to 10k by the end of the year, probably more, to show you how you can do this and grow it, and the power of the compounded interest. Earned about $200 this month from this, and it's going to keep going and going and going. And the compounding effect is real. So going back to Copilot, and if you said 25k earning 2.5% a month, the first month, and this is low, 2.5%. Bear in mind, some months I've seen 20% or below. It just depends on how the month is going, and crypto can change very fast. So let's just say 25k earning 2.5% a month. After 1 month, it's 25,625. So $625 or pounds will be earned in the first month. But you can see after 6 months, you've earned nearly 4k because of the compound effect, right? 4k you've earned in 6 months just off that. And if you extrapolate that, and you get an average higher APR, so if I was to put 25k at 5% a month, bear in mind I've seen 20, like I said. There you go, 1,250 the first month. After 6 months this time, look at it, 33,000. And after 12 months, you got 44k. So in 1 year, 25k becomes 45k on an average of 5% yield a month, right? So that is the power of the compound interest. And this is what people don't realize, that obviously it just keeps going up and up and up and up. Yeah. So going back to the original things here, that is 2 options for you to look at. 2 options for you to look at. And you just need to make sure that you record everything so you know exactly what you're earning. Like I showed you there, you've got $190 profit, and then there's another 10 there, so that's $200 earned. And this is just from existing crypto. I just put I think I started with, I just put 3k in to show you how it can go, and there you go. So to go through some comments, I think there's a few arguments going on. So if we look at this, Is Litecoin dead? Now, you can do this yourself when you look at charts. And I'll give you two easy examples. If we look at Ethereum, max chart, look at that. Overall trajectory is up. Then all-time high was only 7 months ago. So in the bull run, it hit another all-time high. So using basic kind of logic, you'd say Ethereum is not dead, right? In contrast to that, if you were to scroll down here and go all the way down the market cap rankings, and let's just pick some random shit coin. So we go on this, whatever this is. And again, this is probably a new coin, so it may not. I mean, you can look at that chart. I mean, it's pretty obvious. But I'm trying to find one that has been around for ages. I think Numerai has, actually. Here you go. Numerai, been around, what, 10 years? All-time high 5 years ago. They're 92% from its all-time high. So if you were to look at Numerai, the all-time high over 5 years ago, and compare that to Ethereum, is that dead? Probably. And there's worse charts than this. So if we were to use the same logic with Litecoin, so Litecoin, all-time high, almost 5 years ago. No all-time high in this recent bull run. You look at that, kind of going sideways, not really got to where it did go. Not fantastic, if I'm honest with you. You know, I hoped it would reach a new all-time high when it was on this rise here. Just didn't happen, unfortunately. And I think the owner as well, the ex-owner, just said buy Bitcoin. Was it Charlie Lee just said buy Bitcoin? Which isn't good in my opinion. But if you're unsure of what coins are good and bad, just take some time and go through each one. You know, go on it. What does the chart look like? When was the all-time high? And in my opinion, if it was all-time high was in the last bull run, it's still got legs. If the all-time high is like 5+ years ago, you got to question, why would it have another all-time high? Like the longer the all-time high has been, the harder it's going to be to reclaim it, in my opinion. Why do people panic? Just enjoy life. It will turn up when it does. Very true, very true. Yes, there is a lot of manipulation, unfortunately, in the crypto market. Is there a better return than staking? Yes. So the liquidity pools that we talk about, in a nutshell, probably easier if you don't understand what I'm on about to just download the free DeFi playbook. Talks about that. In it, essentially, what it is this: you put your crypto into a liquidity pool. So, for example, Solana, you'd pair that with USDC in the liquidity pool, and then when anyone swaps between Solana and USDC, you get a portion of the fees. So what you earn is not based on the price action, it's based on the volume. So volume up, volume down is what it is based on. XRP will be 500k by 2030. See, this is what I'm on about. This is what I'm on about. Like, and how many people will buy XRP because of that? And then in 2030, it'd be like, oh, it's $10. I'm just trying to see this guy's videos. Right, I'm on this Jake. See, and this is what you got to realize with some of these guys, and again, no disrespect to this guy. Anytime he talks about XRP, he just gets views. So I bet if you went back on this guy's channel, look at his oldest videos, he had absolutely no views, I bet, until he spoke about XRP. Look, 500 views, 300 views. Look, this is why this guy talks about XRP, right? Here you go. Hashtag XRP, 46,000 views. How I explain XRP, 28,000 views. And that is it. And then he starts mentioning XRP and then he just gets views. You know? So there you go. More just, you know, and he's got to talk about XRP. You know, there's absolutely nothing going to happen with it this year. Let's be honest. There's nothing really going to happen in crypto this year. If we're in a consolidation year. So he's got to fill up the whole year. You know, year to date, he's got to fill up a whole year, and that's the price action this year. So it's gone from $2.40 to $1.40, and he's got to fill up his entire year talking about it. And you know, he will say that buying XRP is going to make you a millionaire or whatever. I don't know particularly what he sells, but he's got to try and make his videos have some value over the course of the whole of the year, because if not, then you go down, etc. So, you know, and it is hard just talking about the same coin every day. I'm just trying to see what he's selling. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Anyway, back to the comments. We'll be up to he thinks XRP will have hit 10 million per coin. Supply shot, yeah. Yeah. Bro's harvesting you for the views. Oh my god. I'm not even replying. I'm not even saying my thoughts on that. I mean, it's just pure. I'm not even. I'm not even going into that. Bank of Canada is using XRP. Yeah, sure is, bro. It isn't. This is the thing as well with XRP. People just make up fake stories because they'll post something on X and say, Sorry, I didn't realize. I didn't realize it was muted. No, I've turned it off. Let me know if the audio's all right now. Have we got audio? Sorry, I didn't realize. Here we go. Here we go. Bro, it isn't going. It isn't going up. See, this is the thing. This is the thing, Lord Stanley. You're going to sit there the whole of 2026 hoping that XRP goes to whatever price, and it won't. I've heard this for the last 7 years in crypto, and for some reason, this coin gets shilled more than any of the. Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, the guy hacked me. The XRP bro hacked me. But what I was saying about this when I was muted was I liked Monero, but the EU are planning to prohibit transactions involving anonymous wallets such as Monero and Zcash under anti-money laundering regulation. There you go. You're getting views. Cheers, bro. Whatever you're doing as well with your crypto, and probably a lot of people won't agree with this, but whatever, make sure you track the transactions. If you pay on the crypto tax, but again, do you want to look over your shoulder all your life thinking that have I paid this, have I paid that? Because I don't want to. And you can again offset a lot of losses if you want. You can offset them into the next tax year. And what is interesting is a lot of people say this on comments. I've just seen it on one of my other videos where they say just buy Bitcoin and hodl, right? Just buy Bitcoin and hold and wait. And buying Bitcoin and holding it is like buying a house, cash, let's say a second property, and just leaving it. You know, let me buy a house for cash and then just leave it because it'll go up in price. You know, it's going to go up in price if I buy a house, but I'll leave it empty for 10 years. That's the same logic, really, if I'm honest. This, what the majority of people will do rather than just, right, I'm buying a house and leaving it, is they will rent it out to tenants and earn an ROI back off it. Because the big thing you've got to think, right, is a lot of these people that say this comment, which is just buy Bitcoin and hodl, we'll catch up with the rest of the world by the time I'm ready to sell. I'd like to ask the person who left that comment, when are you going to sell and what are you going to sell it into? For what purpose? Right? For what purpose are you going to sell it? Because if you're in the mindset that Bitcoin is always going to go up in price, and I personally believe Bitcoin will always go up in price, why are you going to sell it? Because the idea obviously would be, well, I'm going to sell it for my retirement. All right. Well, what happens when you sell Bitcoin and then the money that you get starts draining away? That's what people are not getting. So this guy here that's saying this, just buy Bitcoin and hodl, we'll catch up with the rest of the world by the time I'm ready to sell. My question to you, if you're watching, would be, why are you going to sell and when? Because the hardest thing in crypto that people do is selling, because they always think that the asset's going to go up in price. So what strategy I'm doing is the never sell strategy. But I'm actually earning money with the Bitcoin. So if we go to that, here's your never sell strategy. And you don't have to do the dollar cost average bit into it. You just stay in this loop here, right? If you're always earning money on your BTC, and this guy's hit the nail on the head, get a loan against it. And that's what we're doing, what the guys are doing. You don't need a ridiculous amount as well. You know, the idea is if you're in this loop, you earn Bitcoin. Once you've got built up a stack, then you take a loan against it. Then you earn yield. Then you build up your Bitcoin. Then you just keep going and going and going. You can DCA to hurry that up. But the idea is to accumulate as much Bitcoin because it's going up in price. And then if you want to use it to gain money back and spend it, you can without selling it. So the idea is don't sell it. You can hack into this loop at any point. So if on this loop you think, well, you know, plus 20 years time, right, well, I've accumulated 1 BTC now using this compounding strategy. Right, okay, you've got the Bitcoin, you've got the 1 Bitcoin that you wanted. Now live off it, right? So you live off it by the yield you get in liquidity pools using your stable coin. The yield you earn off liquidity pools, that's the money you spend. Yeah. So if you're earning whatever back a month, 1K, 2K, great, that's your retirement. And guess what? You're never selling your Bitcoin. So if you want to leave that Bitcoin to your children, whoever, you can do. You just never sell it. Because the mindset that, well, just buy and hodl, well, you're never actually going to access the benefits of Bitcoin if you just buy it and hodl it. You're never going to access it. And let's be honest, do you want to sell it? Because if you think about it, if you're buying if you're holding Bitcoin, right, and 10 years goes past, and let's just say the price is 300K, right? What's your mindset going to be then? Because if you sell it and then another 5, 10 years go past and it goes up to 500, 600K, you'll be like, oh shit, well, I shouldn't have sold it because it's gone up in price. So there's no, you don't win by selling Bitcoin. That's the point I'm trying to make. So the happy medium is keeping the Bitcoin, but then utilizing it so you can actually get the fruits of your labor, right? The fruits of your labor is using the Bitcoin, getting the loan, and using the yield that you get from the liquidity pools to pay you out. So that Bitcoin's paying you out and you've still got it. That is the thing. And again, correct. Selling it triggers a 20% taxable event, get a loan. So that's what we say. If you're locking up your Bitcoin, you take a loan against it. It's a non-taxable event. And that is it. So the hodl guy who's holding his Bitcoin and selling it, he's creating a taxable event. He's then got into fiat currency, which is going down the pan, and then that's it. Burns through that money out of crypto, out of Bitcoin, and that's it. You know, happy at first, 5, 10 years goes past, and that particular person loses. Whereas the smart person who's doing the strategy in front of you, guess what? The smart person keeps the Bitcoin, takes a loan, does not sell the Bitcoin ever, but lives off the yield that is generated from the liquidity pools. So this is the modern version of what the rich do with property, right? The rich don't sell a property, right? They don't sell a property. What the rich do is accumulate more properties, take loans, rent them out, and then that is their income. They don't just sit on a property with no one in it and then just sell it after 10 years. That's not what they do. So you got to utilize what is in front of you, and utilizing Bitcoin is 1,000 times better than just holding it and doing absolutely nothing, in my opinion. And again, you can do this with utilizing your altcoin and accumulate Bitcoin that way. So you could start here. Let's just say you started here for a year, right? And you did this first thing here. So let's just say you have Solana. You go over to Orca, find a liquidity pool, bang it in that, start earning yield, and then the yield that you earn, you swap it for BTC, and then your second strategy, so that's your original strategy, because you're earning yield off your Solana, you then swap your yield into BTC, and then you start this process. So 5-10 years down the line, you're utilizing that, and then you're starting that. Easy. And you may be looking at this and thinking, this is too complicated, blah, 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 but it is worth the time and effort to learn and educate yourself about ways to use your Bitcoin and crypto smartly, instead of watching the top 6 coin videos, watching the, watching these. Like, it ain't going to help you at all. And, like people mentioned, there are good guys in crypto. They explain stuff, but a lot of it is garbage, and it isn't going to help you in any way, shape, or form. So if you've got any more questions, pop them in. Let me know. If not, I'm going to shoot. So I'll give you a couple of minutes. Let me know if you want me to give my opinion on anything, or let me know if you've tried anything. In terms of liquidity pools, if you've got any questions, if you're stuck on anything, just let me know, and I'll be able to go through it with you. And not what is this coin going to pump to, or what are the top 5 coins for this, because it's not going to help anyone. If you want to know what the top 5 coins are, look at the top 5 by market cap. Those are your top 5 coins. Because the top 1 coin is Bitcoin. Yeah, number 1 coin is Bitcoin. Always has been, always will be for the foreseeable, and nothing will overtake it, no matter what Crypto Bro says on YouTube or whatever. The big boys are consistently buying Bitcoin. They're not buying a lot of shit coins, not accumulating anything really but BTC, to be honest. Yeah, and that's it. And it's not selling it as well. Not selling it. Because people have this idea that they will buy and hold BTC and then sail off into the sunset in 10 years. But I guarantee 3 to 4 years after they sell it, they'll regret it, because they'll see what price it's gone up to. And they won't be able to avoid the price that it goes up to, So, and that's the main issue. That's the main issue. Good man. I think that's everything. So yeah, cheers for watching, guys. Again, if you want to download the free DeFi playbook, link in description. If you want to book a call with the team, join the group, see what we're doing. QR code there. Cheers, guys. Peace. See you soon.